Look closely at the jars lining the supermarket shelves today. They are bright, perfectly uniform, and engineered for an indefinite shelf life. But when you subject these foods to a microscopic audit, you realize something terrifying. The modern grocery store is essentially a vast graveyard of dead nutrition. We are told to buy pasteurized, chemically acidified, and shelf-stable products because they are convenient. But the forensic truth is that humanity did not survive the ancient world by eating sterile, dead food. For thousands of years, our ancestors relied on a living, microscopic ecosystem to preserve their harvests, unlock vital nutrients, and heal their bodies from the inside out. Welcome to Bite Audit. Today we are launching an intensive investigation into 15 legendary fermented foods. We are pitting the raw, living matrix of ancient food science against the sterile corporate kill steps of modern manufacturing. This is the ultimate audit of what your digestive tract is actually missing. 1. The seafaring shield, sauerkraut. Ancient China used rice wine to ferment cabbage over 2,000 years ago. By the 18th century, the British and Dutch navies carried barrels of it to prevent scurvy. The audit. Genuine sauerkraut requires only cabbage and salt. Wild lactobacillus bacteria consume plant sugars to produce lactic acid, naturally dropping the pH. The scam. Center aisle cans are extreme pasteurized. This heat treatment kills every live cell. True sauerkraut must be raw and refrigerated to deliver billions of probiotics and bioavailable vitamin K2. 2. The dynamic ecosystem, kimchi. Originating from the Korean peninsula, kimchi represents over 200 regional variations. UNESCO recognized the communal kimjang ritual as intangible heritage in 2013. The audit. Fermenting Napa cabbage with chili, garlic, and ginger births strains like lactobacillus kimchi. Capsaicin stimulates digestive enzymes, while raw garlic provides prebiotics. Traditionally aged in ongi pots buried underground, it is a specialized shield for the human microbiome. 3. The Caucasus symbiosis, kefir. In the Caucasus Mountains, communities have guarded the secret of this effervescent drink for centuries. The audit. Unlike yogurt, kefir uses grains, complex symbiotic matrices of yeast and bacteria. It contains up to 60 distinct probiotic strains. The verdict. These cultures don't just pass through, they colonize the intestinal wall. Because the bacteria predigest lactose, genuine kefir is often safe for those with severe dairy sensitivities. 4. The imperial elixir, kombucha. Kombucha began in 220 BC northeastern China as an elixir of longevity. The audit. It relies on a SCOBY, a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. The fermentation produces glucuronic acid, which binds to toxins in the liver to facilitate excretion. The warning. Mass-market versions are often pasteurized or spiked with post-fermentation sugars. To pass our audit, it must be raw and cloudy with live cultures. 5. Traditional yogurt, the Mesopotamian discovery. Yogurt likely began 5,000 years ago in the accidental souring of milk stored in animal stomach pouches. The audit. Authentic yogurt is built on Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus. Full-fat dairy contains CLA, a fatty acid with anti-inflammatory properties. The scam. Modern processors skim the fat and heat treat the cultures to extend shelf life, rendering the product microbiologically dead. 6. The warrior's fuel. Miso samurai warriors carried dried miso into battle as a compact source of protein and electrolytes. The audit. Soybeans are fermented with Aspergillus oryzae, koji, for up to 3 years. This dismantles soy proteins into digestible amino acids and neutralizes phytic acid. The rule. Miso must never be introduced to boiling water. Temperatures above 60 degrees Celsius destroy the active enzymes. 7. The cardiovascular matrix, aged raw. Cheese, raw milk cheeses retain a massive ecosystem of microbes. During aging, these cultures break down fats into short-chain fatty acids that nourish the colon. The Audit. Aged raw cheeses like Parmigiano Reggiano are concentrated sources of vitamin K2, MK7. This molecule directs calcium out of your arteries and into your bones. Pasteurized supermarket cheese food has zero microbial value. 8. The soul of the archipelago, poi. In Hawaiian culture, taro is the elder sibling of humanity. Poi is made by pounding cooked taro root into a smooth paste. The Audit, left to ferment, wild yeasts turn it into a tangy superfood. It is a living hypoallergenic food designed to support indigenous metabolic health and cultural preservation. 9. The glycemic regulator, genuine sourdough. Sourdough is the oldest leavened bread, dating to 1500 BC Egypt. The Audit. True sourdough ferments for 8 to 48 hours. Bacteria consume the sugars that spike blood glucose and predigest gluten proteins. The scam. Most commercial sourdough is faked with vinegar and quick-acting yeast, skipping the structural transformation entirely. 10. The Slaviansk blood purifier, kvass. A staple of Eastern Europe for a millennium, beet kvass is a medicinal powerhouse. The Audit. Fermenting beets in brine concentrates betalain pigments and nitrates. The body converts these to nitric oxide, which dilates blood vessels and lowers blood pressure. It is a time-tested remedy for sluggish circulation. 11. The industrial counterfeit, lacto-fermented pickles. There are two types of pickles. Vinegar pickles are sterile, preserved in acetic acid and heat-treated. The Audit. Authentic lacto-fermented pickles use only water, salt, and cucumbers. The salt brine allows lactobacillus to thrive, creating a living food rich in protective enzymes. If it's not in the fridge, it's a dead product. 12. The complete Javanese cake, tempeh. Originating in Java, Indonesia, tempeh is a masterpiece of fungal fermentation. The Audit. Rhizopus mold knits soybeans into a cake, neutralizing anti-nutrients that block mineral absorption. It is one of the few plant sources containing vitamin B12, making it a vital protein-dense staple. 13. The enzymatic powerhouse, natto. This Japanese superfood is fermented with Bacillus subtilis. The Audit. It is the only source of nattokinase, an enzyme that dissolves fibrin mesh in blood clots. A single serving delivers over 300 micrograms of vitamin K2, optimizing arterial elasticity far beyond any other food source. 14. The capsaicin amplifier, fermented hot sauce. Traditional hot sauces were aged with salt, not drowned in vinegar. The Audit. Fermentation ruptures pepper cell walls, making capsaicin more bioavailable. This stimulates digestive enzymes and inhibits H. pylori, the bacterium linked to gastric ulcers. 15. The synergistic shield, fermented garlic and honey, used in Ayurvedic and Balkan folk medicine. This combination is a potent health shield. The Audit. Raw garlic submerged in honey initiates a slow fermentation. This stabilizes volatile allicin and amplifies the mixture's antibacterial defenses. It is a time-honored preventive used to combat upper respiratory infections. 15 ancient foods. One vital truth. Fermentation is a sophisticated co-evolutionary partnership between humanity and the microscopic world. When you allow industrial processes to replace these living matrices with dead, pasteurized, shelf-stable versions, you are systematically starving your own microbiome. The choice is yours. You can consume sterile products, or you can vote with your wallet for real, living food. If this audit changed your shopping list, hit that like button,
Subscribe to Bite Audit as we continue to separate genuine nutrition from corporate marketing rot. Drop a comment below. How many of these 15 are actually alive in your kitchen right now? Audit your plate, protect your gut.